live. Welcome, everyone, to episode 42 of the SouthPoint podcast. We're already starting this off so great. Everybody's already laughing. Yesterday was May 4th, which means it was Star Wars Day.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Allie Beth.
May the 4th. Hey, that's right.
Right.
11.
I got a Star Wars baby. She
Man,
had a
that's fantastic. We
day.
almost did. George was the first. So we almost made it to there. So, well, happy belated Star Wars Day, everyone.
Yes.
Which means that today is May 5th.
No,
May 5th. Yes. May the Sith be with you. That's
Yeah,
what
Revenge of the
Fifth.
Today is my wife's favorite day of the year. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone.
Oh, look at him. He
No.
went into
How
his little
dare
accent and everything.
Well,
his little
you know.
eyes, his little gaze across the table. It was kind of cute. Your eyes sparkled just a little bit.
It did. As soon as that accent hit,
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
there it went.
Yeah,
Sparkle.
that one.
The sparkle.
The
The sparkle.
As you can see, everybody's in their festive mood today.
I don't like this
Reluctantly.
thing. I do not like this thing.
may
I got
not
too
have
much
been
hair.
forced.
I can feel it moving as my hair moves.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is my wife's idea. Yesterday she was like, so what am I going to wear? I don't know what I'm going to wear. Wait, I have a taco shirt with the Holy Spirit on it. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess you can wear that. That's great. And then she's like, I wish I had a sombrero.
Wait, I have 3 sombreros.
Can we ask for a minute? Like, are these yours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like? Have you collected these over years or?
Well, no. We did this for Easter. We had a fiesta for Easter and bought sombreros. And it's just a dual
As you do.
holiday. So now
Yeah, that's-
we
yeah.
can rock it for Cinco de Mayo.
Bunnies, eggs, chocolate, and sombreros.
Yeah, we just
Sombrero.
added all of it.
Yes.
Jesus was
Jesus. I'll say, man, all right. It was not Jesus this year. It was Jesus.
Jesus was present for
Jeez.
sure. My goodness. We've already derailed. This is
Yes,
we
we
just
have.
started. Well, my name is El Guapo Carlos Tello. With me today, Jason Lucky Day Burton.
Okay.
Love it.
All right.
Lucky day.
All right.
Three Amigos.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Carson,
I like it.
Niederlander,
Yes, I am Niederlander.
We have
Every
Jefe
day.
over here,
Jefe.
producer Katie,
Yes.
and of course, I already introduced my lovely wife, Jacqui. There really wasn't a female character.
Okay,
Yeah, there was.
okay.
There was.
Well, there was a one.
There was
lady
the one lady that hired.
He was
the
trying to
Amigos.
steal her rose petal or whatever he said.
He was trying to steal the rose petals. Yeah.
So
We
I was
call
not
the
gonna-
Amigos.
How are y'all doing today, man?
Doing well,
Y'all doing
man.
good?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm excellent.
Excellent. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good response.
If this thing will stay on my head, I'm excellent. I don't think it's gonna
You
move.
pretty sure you can take it off.
No, it's gonna
He
happen.
cannot take
It's
it
gonna
off.
fall off. It'll fall off. I don't have to worry about it coming off.
I'm just
It'll
hoping
fall.
that it just eventually shoots across the room.
It might.
Pops off.
It
your
might,
head.
dude. It might.
Yeah.
It tried to like bring it into the hair, but it didn't work.
It is Cinco de Mayo, and of course, my wife is all about getting ready to eat some Mexican food today. You guys eat Mexican food like every week, so I mean, is it just business
we go to
as
the
usual?
place that serves, I'm going to use quotes here, Mexican food.
Well,
I don't know how real it is.
it's as
I
close.
saw a
as
cat
you-
run out of the kitchen.
How
Shut
dare
up.
you?
No way.
Listen, no. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Mexican food around here. It's okay. It's different everywhere you go. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What's your go-to? I know
I like-
Katie's a nachos person, right?
She's a nachos person wherever you go. Though.
Absolutely.
That's
You
true.
know.
Absolutely.
I don't know. For me, I like the fajitas. So I love vegetable fajitas, steak fajitas, chicken fajita. So that by itself, or as a quesadilla, or
Can
a
I
bowl.
put you in
whatever.
on a secret about Mexican food?
Ooh.
It's all the same. It's the
It's just in
same.
different forms.
It's
different
just
ways of
exactly.
eating it.
It's like, oh,
How
let's
can we
put
take
it.
one dish and
Let's
popularize
put it in
it?
tortilla, and now let's call it this, and let's put it in that, and we'll call it that. But it's
Carlos
the
is
same
being a
stuff.
hater.
I'm not a hater.
How can he hate on the thing that he has pretty much like expertise on?
There are
Does
like
he?
there are like
think
like
he did
Mexican
that by
comedians
birth.
out there who make that joke. It's like, oh, well, let's make this. Well, here's the ingredients. You need chicken. You need tortillas. You need this. And oh, let's make this. Well, here's the ingredients. You need chicken. You need
Chicken,
tortillas.
tortilla.
So it's like the same list of stuff over and over again.
Yeah,
So
I know. Whatever.
Yeah,
The presentation looks different.
absolutely.
So
I
there
guess
you
that's
go.
what matters, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of salt, different salsas, and
I just like the sautéed vegetables along with
That's-
whatever the
hey.
meats are.
The meats.
Yeah,
The
all the
meats.
meats.
Arby's.
No, Mexican.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're talking about all the meat. Never mind. I'm a dirty rice bowl guy.
dirty rice bowl.
I like a dirty rice bowl. I'm a fan of those.
What is a dirty rice bowl? That sounds something different.
Well,
I've never
it's-
heard of this.
Something
What is
different.
this?
It's pretty good. It's the mixture of all the Mexican rices together,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe or maybe not beans, a whole bunch of spicy food.
Okay.
In there. So you put the hottest peppers you can get in there. You put all the habanero kind of stuff. Put it all in there together with a little bit of meat. Oh, it's delicious. I love it.
That's interesting.
As long as it is on fire.
I like how you
need
said
it to-
all the different Mexican rices. I've only never known one.
They say there's multiple when I go to the menu, so I just say give me all of them.
Brown rice,
So-
white rice. It depends if you're going to like a white people, like the Moe's or the what was that one that used to be around here?
Chipotle,
Chipotle. Yeah.
It's
Some people
Qdoba.
have different-
Qdoba.
Qdoba?
That's what it was.
Qdoba. Man, the Qdoba is amazing. No, so that's mine. I like those,
Okay.
and then I use about 10 pounds of hot sauce, so I can't even.
So you can't taste
You
nothing.
can't taste anything.
I love it though. The burn means it's working.
What's the point of that?
I love the heat, man. I love
Some
I
people
love
are
hot
just
food.
Glutton.
Just
I love hot
punishment for
Glutton
nothing.
punishment.
It will brings me
Yeah.
back to actually serving in Mexico or going to do mission trips in like Honduras or Guatemala and all that. So it's like it brings back I remember this burning me when I ate it the first time. It brings me back to those fond memories of eating their food.
I've
Well,
had
that is
yeah.
to hide the gaminess of the cat.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
That is
Listen,
yeah. Fruit are good though. Always eat the fruit. Fruit,
eat
you
the
know, is
fruit.
always fresh.
my wife here is a nachos person.
I
As
love good
well.
nachos or tostadas.
That's like
Yes.
the most American response you can have, though.
What nachos?
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be different. Molcajete was my go-to.
See, that wouldn't even sound
I
Spanish.
don't even know what that is.
The big old, the stone
It
bowl
sounds
that
Spanish.
everything that
Oh, that
goes
you
in, like
just-
all the
Your
veggies and
English
meats and
today.
What'd you say over
You
there?
don't speak English correctly.
My English? What's wrong with my English? Ain't nothing wrong with my
That's
English.
Nutella a minute ago.
Nutella, that's right.
Yeah, that's a-
Nutella and
So I
All that
can't.
good
I,
stuff.
I researched a little bit on the old Google machine. It says researchers estimated about a decade ago that Americans drink over 2 gallons of water a day. A typical Cinco de Mayo is celebrated by consuming more than 335,000 gallons of tequila.
I was
yes.
actually going to say cheese dip. I was going to cheese dip.
Definitely not
Drinking-
cheese dip. That is not the
drinking-
I would do
go-to.
that myself.
It's like 3,000. How many?
335,000.
Dude, that's a lot of tequila.
And that was 10 years ago.
It was 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
So
the
it's
the
like-
pandemic, the
it's-
pandemic just
it's
doubled that number.
Straight through the roof.
Yeah. At 2020, that went straight to like
It's
600K.
already gone through the roof since then. Yeah.
Tequila.
See, people in the United States eat a staggering 81 million pounds of avocados on this day.
I am not one of those people.
I know you don't. You
I
don't
am
like
not.
you don't like avocado.
I am not a fan of an avocado.
I don't understand you.
Snot. I don't want it.
I love avocado.
You love
I love
avocado.
a fresh guacamole.
But you're not a cilantro person.
Yeah.
I'm not a what?
Cilantro.
Oh,
Not
no.
cilantro. Cilantro.
What's wrong with
Whatever.
cilantro?
I'm not any of that weed.
Oh.
I'm not any of that
That's
weed,
soap
boys and
weed.
girls.
Oh my gosh.
None of that soap weed.
Don't eat that. Don't eat that weed.
Oh my gosh. Any of that weed.
That was the.
Well, I mean, it's
I just went back to the Reagan years just for just 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness. Obviously, today is not the Independence Day for Mexico, just so everyone out there knows.
What?
Do you want to express to everybody how you do not celebrate today? That it's just a
Well,
white
because
people's holiday?
Mexicans do not celebrate this day.
well. I was
That's
going
the
to
whole
ask you
thing.
that. Well, how is it a big thing here?
Well, that's
Why?
thank you to President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yeah.
The Good Neighbor policy passed in 1933. That's where it came about.
What was its
He was
purpose?
trying to create relations with the Latinos and the Americans, and so it started up. I researched all this last night.
We only like imprisoned the whole nation for 50 years before that. There was like, oh, we'll give you a day.
So,
May 5th,
like
that's
the
yours.
city of Los Angeles and Chicago, a lot of the major cities with a huge Mexican population started. They implemented this in, and they throw parties, and
Okay.
then everybody else took it over.
There's now, I don't know if they were doing it anymore, but there used to be a huge firework and light show over by the Alamo.
I'm
when
pretty
they
sure.
do it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I'm
still
pretty sure
huge.
there's still
Like
is.
it,
Yeah.
like our 4th of July, but like just at the Alamo. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But it's very Americanized these days. So
I mean, they shoot fireworks for a lot of things that
That's
don't
true.
make sense to me anyway.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Anything that can gather me around a table with cheese dip and people, I'm down for.
That could be lunch every day.
It could be. However, today, just is extra special.
Yeah.
Extra special.
2 bowls of cheese dip instead of 1.
2 bowls instead of 1. Well, last year we tried to go because you were insistent, and it was a straight up nightmare.
It is.
Trying to
Every,
get
Is that,
it.
is
every
that
year.
like is that like you leave one seat open at Passover at y'all's house? You bring out 1 bowl of cheese dip for Jesus.
I mean, it is what it is.
The almighty chip we bring to you anyway.
Oh my goodness! I'd like to take a second to welcome all of you who are joining us live right now on Facebook, and just say
everybody?
hi in the comments.
They're all saying hi. They're all chiming in.
Join in on the conversation. Let us know what your go-to Mexican dish is, or plate, however you want to say it.
Ooh.
Are you a cilantro fan or are you not a cilantro fan? Does it taste like soap? That's the question.
We should
'cause
do a
that's-
poll. Who out there has that gene or whatever they say it is?
I know that it's you and Craig and Katie Marlier
Yeah.
that are from this staff. I don't
Yes.
know about anybody else.
What? That you
So
don't like?
supposedly genetically.
How did you not get that I don't like it when I call it a weed?
No, I got that you don't like it, but I didn't know that there was some
Someone
genetics
does
thing
that.
in this. There's science behind
Apparently,
this?
it's a genetic
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
it's either going to taste.
like soap or just like a. Just like
Or it tastes like
cilantro.
cilantro. Yeah.
Oh, it's always tasted soapy to me, but I'm still eating it because I like it.
You like to eat soap? Did your parents wash your mouth out with
Well,
soap
that
when you were
explains
younger?
a lot,
It
folks.
did, yeah.
So you just
Did you eat paint chips
If you
as a
didn't
kid?
learn anything, today,
Yes. Why?
that our next gen pastor eats soap and thinks it's great.
I mean, that's not the. Yeah.
So much
Real
revelation
connoisseur of-
coming out of this right now.
Hey, man. Sometimes you just got to get out there and explore life, Jason. What kind of world have you living in if you're not trying to soap here or there?
My life is
better
good.
one, I think.
Really good. Yep. That's it.
You quoted that this past Sunday
I
too.
did.
That was
I
fantastic.
did. I love that movie.
I was about to stand up and clap, but I couldn't.
Well,
So far, we have Chastity and your mom.
Hey, Mama.
Your mom.
aww.
They all love cilantro.
Good.
Nobody else has said it
Oh,
tastes
the
like
more
soap
the
yet.
better.
Yeah.
I
Is there
will.
anyone from that area that doesn't like? Like, do you know another?
Mexican?
Well, anybody
I
that.
mean, if you just say it.
Do you
Jason.
know another
Mexican?
Mexican? Like, wow.
I haven't.
Really.
I've never known anybody. in
They
my
have
family.
to
Well,
exist,
all
right?
all your family's chiming in. Rafa said that cilantro is the best.
Okay.
Probably where it's
Yes.
from. So
Okay.
maybe Mexicans
Love
just
it.
don't have that gene.
It could be.
Oh, now
could
your
be.
aunt's watching. Your
Oh
aunt
my
Kathy.
goodness, my whole family's here.
Yeah.
What's up,
All the
everybody?
Mexicans are here celebrating
Oh,
Cinco
I'm
De
so
Mayo.
happy. This is
They're
great.
celebrating that one holiday that's not
Don't
theirs.
celebrate.
Oh my gosh. We only come out on the internet for once and once only.
I mean, I think it's just the misconception. It is like, because growing up, it was like, well, that's y'all's Independence Day. Y'all's like, it's like I wasn't born in this country, which I am. But it was just like, no, that's not the Mexican Independence Day. That's September 16th. This is a completely different thing.
Right.
It was a battle that was
the
won.
American version of your Independence Day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh, you got. Yeah, your thing is in September. Wow, we like May.
We like this one
so
better.
It's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our pregame for July 4th.
Say pre.
Yeah.
Pre-game. So is St. Patrick's Day the pregame to
We got
Cinco de Mayo?
pregames for everything.
Oh gosh, that is true.
We got
Americans.
pregames for our pregames.
Pre-games for a pre-game.
Yep.
Anybody else chime in over
Yeah,
there?
It's Thanksgiving into
Your
Christmas.
mom said that your sister hates it, and then Becky Burton said that we love cilantro at our house. I don't know where Jason gets his dislike from.
Ooh.
Busting you out.
Mama Burton throwing it down.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't
You
like.
handle it.
You ask her. I didn't like tomatoes for a very long time, and that was like I didn't know if I was a Burton, because apparently every Burton ever.
Did you just have to develop
That was in the
the love
that was
for
in the
them?
family.
did.
He had to
Did.
sit
Maybe
down
you
every
developed
day
a
and
love
eat one
Yeah.
to try to get a
Nope.
taste to it.
I have
Right.
tried cilantro. I have tried and tried, and it's just not happening.
Doesn't happen.
It takes over every flavor for whatever it's in for me. That's all I
That's
taste,
crazy.
and that's like, yeah, it just ruined that
Game
bite.
changer, yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, are you a fan? Yes or no? That's a long pause.
I had to think about it.
She is.
I
Sigh.
want to be. but it tastes so.
Why do
It-
you
it
want
tastes
to
like
be?
meat.
I
Like-
want it to be good.
She wants to be
You're not really
Mexican.
missing out on anything.
You are. It's so
But
good.
no, you're not.
It's
like
so
a-
good.
No.
I could just imagine what it actually tastes like fresh
Fresh weed.
goodness.
I say that's going to Jason. Fresh weed, sweet grass. What do you want that for?
Well, it
Derailed.
does. It tastes fantastic. It smells for me like
He can just, he'll literally,
I
he'll
will
chop
chop
it up and
it.
he'll just go like this and sniff it.
oh.
Ooh, the smell.
And
Weirdos.
my middle child, who's usually in the kitchen next to me when I'm cooking, I will like, here, and she'll smell it. She'll go, that's fresh. She literally said that.
She doesn't know any better.
Had a little bonding moment with his middle child.
Yeah.
Over so
Oh my goodness! All right, we're gonna move on
This
just
is
a little
what he
bit.
expects, so I'm just gonna go. Yeah, that's really good.
Smells great,
Yeah, it's
Dad.
good, Dad.
NBA playoffs are in full swing.
Yeah.
You guys watching any of that? Or Charlie's watching right now. Hockey playoffs are going. as
Hockey
well.
is going
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Hockey
And
playoffs
that
are
hockey
going.
game on Tuesday was ridiculous.
Yep.
The Rangers Penguins game.
They
was
went to like 3
ridiculous.
overtimes, right?
Yep.
What do you guys? What are y'all watching right now? This is not to take away from what you love in this later in the show, but what are you guys into? Anything new? Any shows? Anything catching your attention?
Well, we're going through Stranger Things with our oldest.
There you go.
Because the 4th season's coming out.
yeah.
So a lot of nostalgic things, we get to point to it and say, yeah, that's the way it used to be for us as kids. We
Yeah.
used to, the He-Mans and all the
Oh,
stuff
my
and the
goodness.
music, So, but other than that, not watching a lot. Don't have time.
It's odd that there's
Get to the end of the day.
a billion different options out there
Yeah.
and so little time. And we're going to talk about time and hustle here in a little bit from what you spoke about this past Sunday. But that's our house too. I think we normally have maybe one night a week where we're like, okay, how many shows can we fit in like the 2 hours before I have to go to work or whatever. So
And then on top of that, it's finding things that are appropriate for you and your whole family to watch.
Absolutely. Yep.
And it's slim pickings these
Yep,
days.
absolutely. Yeah. So my wife and I stick to our hospital dramas, all of them, just about, not all
All of them. Yes.
several of them. Resident, New Amsterdam, and Transplant. Those are the 3 we're watching right now. You're shaking your head over here.
No, that's all. That's either that or it's like everybody like loves the sailing shows like Below Deck. That's my wife all day long.
What is that
And
about?
it's this literally follows this crew that works on sailing vessels, whether they're yachts or sailboats, and it's their story. It's literally Lifetime TV. It's like the Orange Housewives stuff, but like on a boat. And they're all single and they're all like, I don't know if I want to be with you, but I do want to be with you. Oh my gosh, like life is so difficult for me. And it's just awful. It's garbage. So I'm not doing any of that stuff. I am rewatching Community because I usually get into kind of what I call a brain slump toward the end of the year. And pretty much going into summer, I rewatch the TV show Community because it was so important for me in high school. And so it kind of reinvigorates my creativity, makes me feel alive again and, just dreaming of new things.
All right.
Plus
All
new
right.
TV shows.
I
are
have a
not good.
confession. I watched to completion for the first time in my adult life a couple weeks ago, Tombstone.
Oh, all right.
And I know it's revered. It's a classic. It's
movie.
talked about, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. it's a
And I
good
was
movie.
like, why did I wait so long to watch it? So crazy. But
We
it was a
don't know.
really, really good movie. Really, really good movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Katie, what are you watching? You watch anything?
I've been rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
9-9.
I love that show.
So amazing.
Gosh, that's a fantastic show.
We
I would
tend to
recommend it.
gravitate towards the cop shows.
The cop shows.
Yeah. So
Like First 48.
Captain
no,
Holt's my
like
favorite.
Blue Bloods. Love Blue
Yeah,
Bloods.
of course, Captain Holt's your favorite.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be?
So NCIS.
NCIS.
Until
Be
they
careful
got
with your
rid of
words.
The detective style.
the
yeah, we like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My emotions are here. Can you not see the expression on my face?
I love Captain Holt. It's so good. Hey, in case you can't stick around for the whole live podcast, we will have this podcast posted in a few days on all podcast platforms.
Mm-hmm.
This video will be up on Spotify and our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So subscribe there, and the audio version will be available on Apple Podcasts and everywhere else. I was about to say our Facebook page, but apparently that's going away, right?
They are, yes.
Did you
Podcasts
see
are
this?
not being supported after June 3rd by Facebook.
It's like, why put it on there if you're going to take it off? But
Facebook's
we have
making
several
weird
outlets for you
things.
guys to download the audio and things like that.
Did they put it on there like 6 months ago?
Yeah, it's.
Mhm.
I felt like it was a trial thing.
Whatever. Facebook.
I'm gonna I'm gonna chime in. Matthew Kreuger says Chicago PD.
Oh, Chicago PD. There you go, Dad. I like that show.
There's like 3 Chicagos, right? There's like
He watches the PD, though, because it brings him back of his childhood of actually hearing the gunfire going to sleep at night. That's
Gosh.
really what that is. He's like, he lays back and hears like shooting him between 3rd and Michigan. Oh, yeah.
I can rest now.
Home. I'm serious. I'm telling you, man. He'll tell you, man. It's the Wild Wild West out there.
Eva says Walton's and Little House on the Prairie. Were her go-to.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Some classics.
John boy.
wow, that's taking it back right there.
Yeah.
House on the Prairie. That's really taking it back.
Hey, we've had some crazy good past weeks here at SouthPoint. And since we last recorded, and I got to bring up some of the goodness, some of the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
How good was Easter?
Ooh.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Was it just me, or was it like for the first time in now a couple years, it felt like normal? It felt like, okay, we finally hit this place where everybody's coming back to church.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a packed lobby. It was a packed, auditorium for all 3 services.
Mm-hmm.
You hear people singing. It feels so good to see all the people coming back to South Point.
Yeah, it was really good to have all that energy back in the building.
Man, it's different, right?
It is different when you get all of that together, and it felt like normal, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a little bit beyond what was normal for us pre-pandemic, but the numbers are coming back. People are coming back.
Yeah,
we love it. Love the fellowship. Love the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do more of that.
Yeah, we love our online community.
Yeah.
But there's something so different than from being live with the rest of the body and just being here worshiping together. The music's been on point. The worship's been fantastic. Craig and Carson, y'all been doing a fantastic job bringing messages, and it's just been so good. And then we follow that up with baptism.
Oh man, yeah.
And we had 50 plus. What was the final number, dude? We know what the final number was.
We had 56 sign up, but let's see. I think the final number was
48.
46.
That's always, we always have a few
which
that
is
miss.
the best percentage
Yeah.
for
Best retention.
actually showing up and doing it, and it was fantastic. I think our second service we had 36.
We had to pull out chairs.
Yeah,
And add them
we did.
to the end of the aisle. I mean, that's how many people
did.
were in that second service.
Yeah, I mean that
That was so
auditorium
good.
holds. It's got 602 chairs in it, and we had 591 people in there.
My goodness.
Golly.
So yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to
Fullest
see
I've
that.
ever seen the auditorium.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah, I was in the skybox for second service, and I
How was
slipped.
it to look down at all of
That was what was great, because Charlie he left, for a minute, and as I'm running online sound, I'm trying to make sure that everything's going good, and he comes back and he's like, I just had to go get X amount of chairs and stick, and I was like, oh my gosh, and so I can't.
Yeah.
Where I'm sitting in that little area in the booth, we only see what's on screen, so we're only seeing the stage. And so once worship had ended, I got up and went over to the actual skybox window, and I just looked down. And my dummy self didn't take a picture, but I guess I was just living in the moment at that point. But it was so good. I was just like looking around going, oh my gosh. Like, this is just awesome. It was so cool to see all the people and all the extra chairs. I mean,
Yeah, and it was a great time of celebration,
Absolutely.
We like to live it up. I think we made it through almost every song that we had picked out,
Yep.
and that was a lot of
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
So
were you did you play
I
that
played.
Sunday? You played that Sunday? Yeah.
Yep, got
I lose
hand
track
cramps and
of-
everything.
Oh my goodness.
Walking
Hand
like this for the rest of the
cramps.
week.
Just get to the point where you're just hitting one note at a time.
I always wonder about you guys that have to play, but I always think about like these musicians that are travel and especially like your mainstream artists and things like that who put on like an hour plus concert.
Yeah.
We saw it was one of Toby Mac's hits deep tours,
Yeah.
and his band played for the entire night. So not just his own group, but he played for every
All 4 or 5 hours of a concert,
probably 4 hours of a concert. So they played for every artist that he had opening for him, and then I was like, I couldn't imagine
Wow.
that kind of a marathon.
Yeah.
So, but
it can get sometimes very tedious.
Yes.
When you're having to play the same 4 chords over and over again. But when you have something like baptisms going on, you don't really notice that as much as you get to watch.
You're getting splashed.
You know, I'm
great.
seeing faces come through that I know, and it's just an exciting thing. So then it's about holding back your tears because, you get a little bit emotional at that moment. Because, it's a momentous thing for those getting to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially when there's friends and
places,
people like that that come through, and amazing stories like we had. We had some friends
like
from California.
Flea.
Yeah, Flea as
Flea,
well.
and then the young couple, the Bras, that just started.
Yeah,
I mean,
Baraka said just came, and there's a lot of people that are coming through, and they get baptized. It's just so good. Yeah, Flea at the end. I mean, it was loud. I could hear the people from downstairs when that happened. So,
well, it's just, and it's cool. So from my perspective, it was the first time for Easter that I'd ever seen 3 services as a staff member. So this was something that I've never seen. I never saw SouthPoint at Easter.
You were the harbinger.
I was. I was the harbinger of many things, my friend. And so it's just cool to see it. This is what 3 services is like. This is how a normal service flow goes like. This is how being in the lobby. Because even last year, I thought last Easter was packed. And it was still just 2 services. And it was still limited. But this was, it was insane. that's the best word to use. I was trying to compare that. I was talking to KK afterward about when we came and visited at a baptism in February, and we were thinking about it, and I was like, man, forget how many people were coming to this thing. And then the same thing, seeing 2 services of that many people being baptized, and just, even Craig and I, about 15 people in second service, were just like, all right, like just that you get that shoulder shrug of like we're keep going. It's just.
Arm was getting sore.
Yeah, you really do get to that point of like we I'm keeping, like Jason, I'm keeping kind of idea of how many songs we're going through, because we'll speed up the little conversation, because it is intimate for even us that are in there, especially people we know. But just to have that, dude, they've gone through 4 songs. How many did they plan? Like, you just really get into that mindset.
You look over and the people are still walking out from behind.
Yeah, dude. But it was so cool. It was so cool to see the wide variety from super young and Kids Point all the way up to seasoned in age. I think it's really cool.
Absolutely.
It was really, really cool stuff. So.
Hey, if you were some of the ones that signed up for baptism and didn't show up, maybe something happened, or
they'll get a call for the next time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they will definitely get a call.
Come back.
We always leave those people in so that we make sure they get an opportunity.
Absolutely.
But man, we got some great things coming up. We got Mother's Day this week.
Mother's Day is this Sunday.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing some child dedication stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are.
That's really good. And we got senior recognition.
Graduate recognition coming up the 22nd, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, it's already that time of the year.
It is.
Like school's about
May 20th is the first.
Blue
Blue Bly. That's May 20th, man. That's the first graduation.
God,
Hernando High School, I think, kicks it off.
That's in 15 days.
Mm-hmm. How do you think these
it
seniors feel?
It seems like this year just started. Now we're already like,
yeah.
It's about to be like 1,000 degrees this weekend. Have y'all seen the weather?
I can't wait. Give me all the sunshine.
Is it really?
90 degrees on Sunday. It's going to be
And it's going to get hotter like next week.
Yeah,
that's going to be horrible.
Upper
95.
90s.
What'd you say? 95?
Ugh.
You know that scene in Lord of the Rings where
Lived for it.
he's standing and looking out when the rain comes? This is for me. That's this moment, because I've been growing this hair out to face this heat.
Ugh.
If I can get through to the middle of August, I think I can hold my
You're
own.
gonna have to start man bunning it. Try and pull it all
We just-
back.
I am.
We just need-
I
No.
am
Don't
moving
do
it that direction.
Don't do that.
Jason, you'd still love me if I had that,
I
right?
don't know.
It's going to come up on your review.
Yeah.
Definitely come up on your review.
All right. I just go in there, the door shuts, and it's Charlie with some clippers. Hold him down.
Either that or a box. All right.
Detroit Lions fans.
Detroit Lions. Yes, baby dedications this Sunday, and obviously
Child dedication.
Child dedication.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me.
No, that's all right because
That's ingrained in my mind.
I know it is
it's
because it's such a
there's
church thing to do.
church terminology that
Right.
cannot be like
But, you know.
expelled. Sometimes
I'll be
There's
up
just
there. Don't
certain
worry to be
words
dedicated again.
You'll be ready.
Yeah,
I'm
we're going to dedicate.
Uh,
Definitely going to dedicate.
Child
him to
dedication, but it is primarily. It isn't to we don't the babies don't get saved, the children don't get saved. It's
No.
for the parents and the
Mhm.
commitment to raise up their kids.
It's for the parents and it's for the church because it's
Absolutely.
Take
it's
the
Yeah.
tribe.
yeah,
Takes a tribe.
It does.
Yep. Graduation recognition is the following Sunday, and you guys have some summer trips coming up.
We do.
Talking about the heat.
Yeah, we got the heat. So June 20th through the 24th, we'll go back to the Axis Conference. Your daughter's going to go with us. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
It's
You're
going to
son-
be
my
a
boy's
good
going.
time.
Your boy's
Yep.
coming.
Second year,
Jonathan
right?
will be
Second year.
going
It'll be his
back.
second year.
It's high energy, man. I mean, it is at the Life Church of Memphis. It's huge. Lots of high energy, lots of worship, big games. I mean, it's youth ministry at a maximum overdrive.
Yep.
And then a little bit more relaxful, kind of on the other end of the spectrum, will be July 3rd through the 8th. Will be the high school trip to Eagle Rock Camp,
Eagle
and
Rock.
that is, it's just two such different elements.
Yeah.
For the middle school, it's so high energy, it's so much, and it's this. We're in a new place, we're staying in a hotel, all this, and then for the high school, it's going to the mountains. There's very little activity. We're the only ones at this camp. And you get to experience everything from activities outdoors to just being prayed over to going down the mountain and hanging out in the Chattanooga, Tallahassee area, which is so much fun. So it's really cool. And everything has been lifted now. There's no more restrictions. So we can actually leave the mountain and go like do fireworks and it's going to be a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is it too late to sign up?
No, it is not too late. You can sign up at any time that you want. You can do that online or come get a form from me, or I can email you a form. We got plenty of ways. And like I said to everybody, I had 2 students last night who signed up who they both had asked about money. Do not let money be a reason why you don't go to this kind of stuff. We've got people that love to sponsor students. My mom has said it for years that she does not have the time nor the patience to go on these summer trips and be a leader. But she will gladly send somebody that can go and experience it because she saw how experiencing that for me as a parent was. So parents, sign your kids up. It's so much more fun than you think just from a piece of paper. And come talk to me or any of my students that have been. They'll tell you it's amazing.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you to those people who are
Yes.
doing that, who are
Thank you.
sponsoring
Thank you.
kids. Many say like, well, I don't have a kid or my kids are out of the house, but I can still help out somebody else. And
We've got two
That's
people,
fantastic.
individuals that just by themselves have sponsored 4 different people.
Wow.
I mean, just
That's
because
awesome.
they
Thank
just like
you,
I
guys.
don't have any kids, but I want somebody to go.
and
Yeah,
you
so-
don't know what the impact's going to be,
Mhm.
and that's what it is. I mean, you can impact a kid's life forever.
I went on a youth camp as an atheist and came back a Christian. I mean, that's for me. That's my story. I came hating God, thinking God was not real, was just here to smite me and to tear me down. And I came back on fire for him. And 2 years later, I wanted to go into ministry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have no idea the impact
Mm-hmm.
of just getting away and just listening, just being able to listen for God and have no distractions can help. And
I think,
get you to kind
like
of
Pastor
refocus.
Craig says this all the time, is like you cannot be around that atmosphere for so long and
Exactly.
and something not happen.
Yep.
It's so
It's
good.
pretty impossible, especially for both trips.
So good. Truth Decay weeks 1 through 3 are in the books. Pastor Craig will wrap up the series this Sunday.
Mhm.
Great job this past week.
Thanks, man.
Once again.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
And you're batting. You're getting.
I'm getting
you're
up there,
doing
man.
good, man.
I'm getting up there.
It was okay.
It's the humbling. Remember, it's like at the zoo. Don't
okay.
feed the animals. Don't compliment the youth pastor. That doesn't go well.
So it was a good one. I kind of chuckled and I was thinking about the things getting ingrained, and not to criticize, but how hard is it to do the benediction at the end? I still cannot. Like, am I the only one that cannot memorize it yet?
No,
I think I have it every
I
time,
had it.
and I don't.
had
Did
it.
I miss it?
Yeah.
Did you flub it?
I did
A little
I,
bit.
I had the first one. I had it, and it was really good. And then I looked back just to confirm, and I got tripped up by a comma on the page, and I knew I shouldn't have put the comma
That
in
dang
there.
punctuation.
And that's what it did. It tripped me up. And then what was so amazing was this is why you know you're loved by people, and specifically for me, I know I'm loved by teenagers. Because the second service, it's the front row is like 8 of my students. They're sitting right there and they're staring at me. And they're every time I'm like, that's good stuff. They're they're the loudest ones going, yeah, that's good stuff. So they're like my echo chamber and I love it. But at the very end, it's like, let's do the benediction and get out of here. They stood up and they were a step ahead of me in saying it. So they were like the earpiece in there that's whispering, okay, now say this. They were literally like, they were saying it before I said it. And it was just like, okay, thank you very much. So I didn't mess it up second service, but first service, the comma got me. If you see Mac McFarland laughing at the end, that's because I messed up. Because he and I have had that conversation all the time. Like, come on, man, it's just one verse. It's not hard. I'm like,
I still can't remember. I still can't say it either.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and I'll start to like say it, and I'm like, oh, I just give up. I just stop because I can't ever. I've been going here for almost 7 years.
I think you'd have it by now.
It's a good. It's a good verse from Peace Lambs. It's a really good verse. So. Oh, sorry, Psalms. My bad.
Just gonna drink my water.
You do that.
We have anybody talking out there?
I think everybody's just listening.
Everybody's listening.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim Putt's watching.
Hey, man.
Hey, Tim.
How you feeling, buddy?
Need you to get better, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Week 1, for some reason I had an issue and I didn't get the second week's notes. So we're just going to kind of gloss over what this series has been about. Just the lies that we were told and several things that are happening, the way we go through our lives. And Pastor Craig was talking about almost like the DIY faith. And that was one of the ones that caught my eye in that first week. And we tend to do that a lot is we're like, oh, well, I can fix myself. I don't need anybody else's help. What I need to read for, what I need to pray for.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't need church.
Yeah.
Those are those lies that we tell ourselves a lot of times, and we just get ourselves in trouble and we're in a rut and we don't know why.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the one that stuck out to me in that one was the trending truth.
The trending truth. Yep.
Yeah, and
especially today.
Especially the quote that he said about, if you can make it trend, you can make it true.
Yep.
And if that isn't exactly what you have happening, everywhere within the church, without the church, whatever you want to put it in, whatever context, if you can make it trend,
It's truth.
it's truth.
Absolutely.
And it's
And if you've been on
destructive.
any kind of social media this past week, you already know what the debate is, and you already know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you can get so caught up and so angry. And I've seen people that I know are angry and like on social media presence and just dropping F-bombs and just throwing them out there because they're so mad about a decision and things that are happening in this world and in this country. And it's just, that can get, that right there, it just gets people so riled up and wrapped up. And the trending truth is correct. Is just social media is that thing that just takes over our lives sometimes. Is somebody can say one thing that you don't agree with, and here starts this war. I'm a comment reader, so I just click on the comments to see the drama.
Eat
But
popcorn,
I don't
scroll.
partake in the drama. I see it.
I
and
hold
it's
back
awful.
as much as I can. I try. Maybe I go on my ghost account and then just
Your
get on
ghost,
there.
yeah.
My spam account. No, for that one, the DIY faith, because I see that in my generation really bad right now. Is there is just this desire in Gen Z and in millennials to create something that is almost like creating your own platter of Christianity. I will keep some things that I want. I'm just not going to go to the greens. I don't need the greens. I got enough fruit today. And it's like you can pick and choose what you want, but the constructs and the belief and the true gospel hasn't changed. It hasn't changed since it was spoken by Jesus. So why do you think now, out of all of a sudden, because of technology, because of all these things that have happened and all these innovations, now this is the time where it's a pick and choose? And the biggest thing, the community side of it. This is I was listening to a podcast. This is crazy. So from 2014, when the movie Wild came out, which was Reese Witherspoon, she talks about going out and hiking. The amount of people and percentage-wise that started on the PCT, the Pacific Coast Trail, which takes you from Mexico all the way up to Canada, right through California, Washington, Oregon. It grew by 300% before 2019. People leaving to go hike because of an influence of one movie. And so now you have influences around your world that say, oh, no, you don't need community. Meta church is all you need. Or, you can do a small group virtually. And it's like, okay, you can, but there are other aspects of this that you need that combining together. And I think my generation is just suffering with trying to believe in an olden tradition, but it's truth. It is truth. It's not a tradition, and it hasn't changed. And it's just that struggle of how do you convince a generation that has all the answers that they're not the right questions. It's just crazy. It's different and it's weird, and
That's really good.
it's just different.
Yeah, absolutely. The other point that I wanted to bring up is he talked about how we had the mindset of, well, if I can just have this, it will make me happy.
Yep.
If I can have that new car, or I can have that bigger house, if I can get this, then I will be happy.
Yep.
Ignoring that God will bring us our happiness, but material things, I mean, I think I've said it before on this podcast that that's what I've grown up being taught by my dad, and he's never been content with what he has. He's never been happy with what he's accomplished over his, almost 70 years on this earth, even though he is a success story coming from the poorest village in Mexico to creating a very large business here in DeSoto County. And a lot of the businesses that you see in town, even some of the casinos, he did work on. So he helped build several places in this county. There's a lot of proof of his successes around, but it was never enough. His house was never big enough. He never had enough cars. And even now he'll tell me, well, don't you remember how good we had it? And I'm like, I'm happy now. Like, what? I don't need all that stuff. I have my wife, I have my kids, I have 2 cars that are paid off. What else do I need? Could we have better things? Absolutely, but it's not going to make me happy. It's a Band-Aid, right? It's
Band-Aid
a Band-Aid
on a broken bone. And that was during that was literally the Holy Spirit was just like, yeah, you need, when you speak on this, you need to talk about your struggles with that, because that is mine. I mean, that is my struggle, that feast and famine of always been. I own a business, and for years, my mindset was, man, we're in a famine. We're in a famine. I got to provide. And now there's more of a feast than ever. There's never been a time when I've ever had a want that wasn't met by the need that overshadowed it, right? The need was more important, but the want just continued to be there. And so now, I mean, you'll ask my wife, she'll be like, oh, how does Carson view that stuff? He's like, he can't stop. I live in this world of feast or famine, and it's always a famine. And it's from this desire of your wants overshadowing your needs. And so, yeah, hearing that, I was like, okay, yeah, that was directly to me. I needed to hear that. So,
yep.
It won't make you happy, man. Doesn't matter what it is.
Nope. I know week 2 he brought up a bunch of facts, and I don't have those facts on me right now, so we're gonna. I want to talk about that one for a minute, because we talked about that in staff meeting when we talked about the leading into what that was going to be about, and I personally walked away from that message feeling empowered in the fact that I don't get the authority or the ability to define what is truth. Right.
I think that's the thing that made me feel like it empowered me to be like, I can be human, I can be wrong, I can make mistakes, and it's just not for me to be the one to decide how these things look. God is the one that created it. And so if you get into that argument, when we're talking about these hot topic issues like sexuality and gender and all these different things, even if you can get to the farthest side of the aisle of the person you're talking to, you can come back in the middle, and both of you can eventually say, I'm not the one that made this. I didn't create you, and you didn't create me. We were created by, whether you agree with it or believe in God, we were not created by ourselves. And so we have the ability to be wrong and still think we're right. And it felt good for me to be able to know, maybe I don't have it all figured out, but I don't need to. Yeah. I don't need to be the one that has the golden answer on how do we do gender, how do we do sex. It can be like, I just don't agree with that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can still love you for who you are in what you're struggling with, because I have the same struggles on a totally different issue. So I just thought it was really cool because I know he was talking about that to us and staff about what that felt like and, the reactions and all that kind of stuff from being the one delivering it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you're up against culture.
Yep.
And this week has been a great example of the wedge that is between us just drives it deeper and deeper and gets us further and further apart because we're less and less willing to see other perspectives and, take a chance to understand somebody. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we have to be the leaders in these situations. No matter what it is, you're still human. I love you as a human, and I care for you. We may not agree on everything, but I am called to love you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to step into that rather than us, them the whole way through my life. Us, them, us, them, us, them, you know.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And that goes back to the trending thing is just these lies are just thrown out there and nobody is willing to really just come together.
Yeah.
Again, if you've been on social media this past week, you already know, and we're not going to dive into that, but it's just, hey, pray for this nation. And like you said, we have to be always. But we have to be the front runners. We have to be the people that, and you know what? A lot of people hate people like us. And
because we've stepped out incorrectly
absolutely.
So many times.
And that's it right there.
So many
because
times.
They say they want to put the church, the capital C, and they label it as this when it's not necessarily just that. And we don't represent, we're not all the same. And that's the other thing. But
it tends to happen when you don't lead with love.
Absolutely. That's it, period. I mean, I think we probably can all tell stories of churches we've grown up with that were way different and thought different and taught us different. And we were told to do certain things and react a certain way to certain people. And I think that's what's been the best thing about SouthPoint Church is that we are a church that is very diverse and we have people from all walks of life that are coming in these doors.
Yes, we do.
All are welcome.
Yep.
And we love you. I mean, that's just it, period.
Yep.
Week 3, every day I'm hustling.
Every day.
Again,
day.
good job this past Sunday.
Thanks,
Pastor Craig always brings up this book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And it is a really good book. It was one of the ones he recommended me. I listened to it, and I thought it was fantastic. But it reminded me a lot of that stuff, of that book, all the things he talked about. And slowing down because you said the hustle frees me from the worry. And it's like we can do all these things to distract us from really what's happening. And you kind of, I can just keep on moving and we'll push this to the side. And that one was a good one.
I mean, that was, I think it's, so I just think it's so cool in Luke 12. Jesus is talking about hypocrisy. He's talking about the way to love people. In Greek, it's tens of thousands. So it's like estimated to be like 20, 30,000 people heard Jesus speak, and the leaders of the law were there. And then he talks about the rich fool building up the barns and how everything you build up, it doesn't matter your platform, it doesn't matter your wealth, it doesn't matter your inheritance. None of this matters if you're doing it to meet your wants, because your wants will change as your life gets older. You guys have different wants with 3 kids. You had different wants when you had no kids. So that's what I'm saying.
I was going to say, I want them to get out of my house.
Exactly. Your wants change, though. Before you had kids, you wanted kids. Now you have kids. Now you want them to get out. And so there's this desire that has changed. So you can't be wants that lead the way. So then Jesus talks about worry, but he doesn't talk to the tens of thousands. And it's so cool because when you look at the gospel, Jesus takes his best friends aside and gives them the practical things that we need. He takes his best friends into the garden to talk about pain, and when you're facing death and certain destruction, pray with the people that are closest to you. He didn't do that until in front of 10,000 people. The transfiguration was in front of 3. It wasn't in front of tens of thousands. And so the same thing with worry. The one thing we can do better than any other creature on this planet is to be able to create and be more than what any other creature is pretty much built into their biology. But yet we're the only creature that has that freedom and that ability, and we worry about the things that are not even in front of us. And when reading that stat, like that 100%, and then reading it now, it's like 6%. That's what we have now. The updated number after COVID has gone from 8% of the things we actually can fix to 6. So we've given more time to our health. We've given more time to the things we can't change. We've given way more to the Karens and the critics and the people that have never thought we were worth anything.
Look at me when you said Karen.
I just looked that direction. I didn't look. You're a humbler for me. You always, if I need to be humbled, I just look on this side of the table. I will be humbled in every way. But no, I think for me, that is the thing, because that goes into that feast or famine mentality. I will continue to drive and hustle and do what I can do because that's just what I need to do to provide. And you'll provide and provide and provide until you don't even know why you're providing anymore.
Absolutely.
Or you're providing for people that you just don't even spend time with. And you paid for $20,000 for travel ball, but you don't go to a single game. It's just that's what it is, and it's crazy that we've gotten into that part of our life.
Is it? I don't know, because this is not me, but I feel like some people might just be running away from what's at home, their problems. I mean, I see a guy at my job who is scheduled for a 12-hour shift, but arrives an hour early off the clock and starts working for an hour before he even gets on the clock. Yeah. And I see this guy, and this is consistently for the last several years that I've seen it, and apparently everybody knows who he is. Oh, yeah, this is what he does, and he is a very big, apparently he's a very big worrier as well, like worry, as in he goes to every area that he knows he's going to touch or be in. Yeah. And he goes through multiple times and rounds and off the clock, mind you. And I'm just going, why would you give this company an hour for free? Like, they're not paying you to do this. You can just wait for your 12-hour shift to start. 12 hours. 12 hours is not enough to do your job. Yeah. That is a long, if anybody out there does 12 hours, that is a long night or a long day. Yep. Yeah. 13 hours is much longer, which means you're getting up earlier, you're going to bed earlier. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine just what he's running away from, or what, like, is he that he's so consumed with the worry that he has to he has to hustle so much
away. It can take a lot of things away.
Well, it's not even just worry. I think it's even more, whatever the hustle is becomes the distraction from the thing I have to face. I don't want to talk. I do not want to talk to my spouse, so I'm just going to go in an hour early. I don't want to deal with my son or my daughter is suffering from gender dysphoria, or they're suffering from ideals and other things, or they don't vote the way I vote, or whatever it is. So I'm just going to go into work early, or I just want to put them in another camp because I don't want to spend time with them this summer. It becomes the distraction. The distraction you yearn for becomes the hustle that you're originally not wanting to do. Like you've replaced the thing that you actually were trying to do with the distraction because you don't want to hang out with what you're providing for. It's just we have to be really careful to fight contentment and to fight against this desire to just keep consuming. And I think that for all of us, we all wanted to go back to the new normal when we all got put in our homes, but nobody took a moment just to stop and be like, okay, how much am I actually doing? And we see that with CEOs. I mean, my mom was 40 years in a company and left 4 years early because she was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of not being able to see my mom. I'm tired of not being able to take vacations. I don't need to be here. And it became the thing. I don't need to make what I'm making because I'm not going to be here for the long run to rebuild it again. Yeah. And you saw that across the country with CEOs that were like, okay, come back to work, or high VPs. And they're like, no, I want to go back to my family. I enjoy seeing my family. I enjoyed playing board games. And you're a person? Like that part of their life came back. And my generation needs to learn that quicker than our parents because we are failing in the ability to put balance to the things in front of our lives, and we need to do better at it. So
that's good. You guys have anything to add to it?
No.
All right.
I think that I'll tag in on that because it was very difficult, and Carlos watched the whole thing unfold when you get so busy in the hustle, even to avoid feeling or to avoid people, whatever. After my mom passed away, I got into the hustle because I didn't want to feel. And because it is a distraction, because if you can hurry and you can do and do and do, then you don't have to face what just happened. And so the weeks leading up after mom passed or whatever, when I tell you that I completely revamped my entire house. I painted everything. I bought new furniture. I spent a good, 2 weeks waking up, falling asleep, sometimes not even sleeping, just cleaning and cleaning to distract myself from, because sometimes it's easier to do that than it is to feel.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what we don't realize is at some point you're still going to have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we put off the inevitable, and then we dig ourselves a deeper hole, because if you don't process, then you fall.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's what culture tells us. If you hurry, you don't have to feel, you don't have to deal with those things. But
the runaway thing in media is not a real thing. I just walk away from this marriage. Oh, that's fine. The other person's going to file, and you're eventually going to have to go back and sign at some point. You can't. There is something that will continually. Your problems will hit you.
yeah,
Doesn't matter how
It
far
catch
you
up
run
with you.
away. They will come back. You have to address what's in front of you, or just keep going and be miserable your whole life.
Or make better decisions before.
Absolutely. That's the goal. That's the goal, Jason, is to make better decisions. That's the goal.
Easier said than done.
It
right?
is easier said than
It
done.
is easier said
is
than
way
done for
easier said
sure.
than done.
But if
Yeah.
anybody takes a moment to think about it, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And it's not to say that you'll avoid mistakes going forward, even in that situation, right? So you've learned a lot there in the grieving process.
Yeah.
And then you maybe the next time it comes around, you'll take better steps, right? Do less of the wrong
busy.
things
Yeah,
first and the busy, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're all supposed to be doing, learning and doing better the next time.
Learning and
Not
growing.
getting it perfect the next time,
And you
but
can't
just doing better.
you can't do it by yourself either.
Yeah, right.
That's the hardest part. Is sometimes getting over yourself and reaching out for help and having that community.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to come around to community, and that's the word that's going to continue. Not the TV show, but
That's still that's a great TV show. You need community.
But-
Watch Community.
people, and
Yeah.
even having lunch with people, having cheese dip with people. We've been talking about this whole thing. That is so important to have people in your even joking about a movie like we were before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
We were laughing and quoting movies, even like that. That is some light fun, and we can laugh and enjoy and think about good times. And you know what? That's fun times.
Good.
And you can't do it by yourself, though.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Week 4 is coming up this Sunday, so come on,
Yes.
everybody. 9:00, 10:15.
Mm-hmm.
Invite some friends, and if you're an online only person, hey, come on back.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Maybe you
unless
found
you're out
us-
of state,
Well, hey, maybe you found us online and you just haven't decided to go back into
Yep.
live services wherever that may be. And
Yep.
This may be the weekend for you.
I'm going to tell you what. I have met, over the last several weeks,
Oh, my God.
Arrows coming
I have met several people who watch and listen, and it's just made my entire week.
Mhm.
So thank you guys for watching and listening. It means the world that we're doing something good here, especially for the people of SouthPoint. So thank you all so much for joining us today. We will be back soon with another great episode. But before we get out of here, we're going to do our What Are We Loving segment. I'm going to start with you.
Well, I started a new book yesterday or the day
Okay.
before yesterday, listening to it, and it's The War on the West. It's an eye-opener, so I'm just into it. Has a lot to do with what's going on in our culture right now and why is it the way it is, So it's a different perspective, so we'll see.
All right.
I'm loving the sunshine.
Not me.
It's so good.
Jason, I
I'll take
can't
it.
take you seriously, and that's
We've all
Hey,
derobed. and
I
taken-
committed to it,
Hey,
and
he's gonna
it's.
see
He's a
I love
see
how
all the way through.
your head is perfectly
Do what you
shaped
need to
for
do.
it to
We
hold
can do two.
because yours hasn't moved in this entire broadcast, but mine continued to move. Now you look like
Nah.
now you look
So
like the
great.
culture appropriate Mickey Mouse, like Miguel Mouse,
Your little
Miguel
burrow
Mouse,
things are
Ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
wobbling.
Little tassels.
Ned Niederlander.
Nederlander. Man, I'm telling you right now, I got two things I'm loving. I really loved, even though it just happened, but I loved what we got out of it. The Orange Conference that we went to
Okay.
with
Yeah.
me and the Kids Point team and a couple of my people from my team. We got some
You sliced your
good-
finger.
I did slice my finger. We got some really good information, but it was so cool because it was it was either the information was stuff we as a church were already doing, and it was really like, yes, we're killing it. And then other parts of it was, okay, we're about to start that. Oh, awesome, we're on the cusp.
Yeah.
And then there was stuff was like you haven't even thought about. So it was really cool
That's
to see
awesome.
all three phases
Yeah.
of it, and just be able to hang out with the team. I mean, I love my kid's pastor. She is awesome. I think she is so great. She does so many great things. She makes you tolerable. So
Makes me tolerable?
Yes.
Oh.
So I love it. I love being
Shout
able
out
to
to
do.
Miss Amanda. Burton.
I love being able to do next gen here. This church is just so awesome when it comes to next gen, and you can see it, you can feel it, and I am really loving because I'm almost done with it. The Age of Cage. It is the best book I have.
Still the Nicolas Cage book?
Yes,
Oh my
I am
gosh.
almost done. I got
that
through.
long?
I got through. It's like 6 hours. I got through
Cage.
It's almost 3/4 of the way done while we were driving back from Orange. And dude, it is. I'm not kidding you. It is movie by movie. And so when I tell you, when we passed over like 2004 and we got right past the National Treasure years and we started getting into the B movie saga,
Oh, my
I was like,
goodness.
oh, we're just gonna skim this, and it was like, nope, we're not skimming it. And it is epic. I've learned so much about the great Nick Cage. He is
The great.
The great.
He is
The great
by
Nick
far one of the
Cage.
greatest actors of our time.
listen to
He
you.
is
Man,
my
see,
favorite.
You do some good things, and then you make statements like that that make me
Just
question
zero, yeah.
everything about you.
Nick, if you watch this, I am down for anytime you want to come speak or just hang out, dude. Come talk to me. I'm such a
I
huge
cannot.
fan.
More of
I've
a
been
treasure protector.
I'm such a fan of him and his work, and he is.
Katie,
Alright.
what
Amazing.
are you loving right now?
I don't know that I can follow that.
Just try all you can.
Oh my gosh.
I'm loving the drums.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
I
you
love that
rocked
you
it this
love
past
drums.
week. It's fantastic.
So good. It's the best.
So good. It's the best.
What
What
are
What
you
are you
loving?
loving?
I am. Well, I just finished The Hobbit,
Ooh.
the audio version,
All
and
right.
I started the first Lord of the Rings
yeah.
book, and I've never read the books, obviously, and of course watched the movie several times. And
They're a bit tedious.
my goodness, like
Books or the movies?
The books.
the,
are
like
very
it's taking
tedious.
forever.
Yeah,
He ain't
the
even
books
left
are-
the Shire yet. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening
Yeah.
right now? Like,
Yeah.
come on, move on. Let's get the Fellowship going. That's kind of where I'm at this
You
point.
feel
Oh,
now
but-
when you read it and then watch the
I
movie,
know
you're
it's
just like,
so,
dude, you're
it's
thinking
so
about, man, I gave
different.
Jackson a bunch of crap on how long this was. Then you read the book, you're like, oh, dude, you
Yeah,
had
but-
it work cut out for you.
Yeah.
But you're going to find that there's so many things in the book
Yep.
that
Oh,
you
yeah,
wish
absolutely.
had made the movie.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. There's always that. There's always that element.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also loving Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of
Tomorrow.
Madness tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
I have my tickets
you
purchased.
have our tickets?
Our
Okay,
tickets. Our
thanks.
tickets. Sorry, excuse me.
He's
Our
taking me,
tickets.
not you.
No, that's uninvited.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. I need
Yeah. I'll go at some point. Probably wait until it comes on Disney Plus. I have to take out a mortgage to take my family to this thing.
That's why we're just
We're just
her and I.
mortgage.
Yeah.
Layla was like, "Mommy, am I gonna watch it?"
What?
No, Mommy, Daddy have to watch it.
We took the
first.
kids for Spider-Man,
Take
and
the
because I felt like
mortgage.
they deserved to go to the Spider-Man premiere, but I'm like, no, this one's going to be
This
ours.
is us.
This is why I love my Sabbath being on Fridays, because I can go, because the weather's gonna be nice
You
because
go
of the
to
rain
matinee.
tonight. I'm literally gonna go hiking tomorrow morning, and then I'm gonna go to the movie at like 1 o'clock.
Ew. Oh, in the afternoon. Put them in the morning.
Where you're so weird.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
New Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer dropped yesterday. It looks
Dude,
fantastic. There's so much
Almost-
goodness
it's
out there.
almost here, man. It's
There's so
almost
much
here.
goodness, yeah.
If there's not, if episode 6 does not have the clash, oh, I'm so excited.
It looks so good.
See Hayden come out.
The hate coming from this
I
side
have
of the
no
table.
hate.
Hayden, I just want to see Hayden Christensen walk out in that mask
Oh,
with
it's gonna be so
James
good.
Earl Jones' voice.
And I gotta catch up on Moon Knight. I got like 2 episodes left. So
I've not
I gotta
watched
finish that one
anything.
up. It's really good. But anyway, hey, thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
joining us today. Thank you so much for listening in your cars or at home or watching wherever you're doing. We will be back soon with another episode. We'll see you Sunday.
Yep, yep.
Bye.
See you guys later.